Is your small business growing? That's the question we address right here on the Grow Your Biz Show. It's where we interview strategic entrepreneurs who inform and inspire you on your solopreneur or small company journey. Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Grow Your Biz Show. Hi, and welcome to the show. This is episode number 77 of the Grow Your Biz Show. I'm your host, Paul Madsen, founder of GrowMedia.com. GrowMedia.com helps small business owners like you to get your message out there by discovering your greatness and finding the right niche market for you. Before we get started on today's show with Tony Veland and Mike Ziegel, I would like to thank our sponsor for the day. ActionCoachOmaha.com is the global leader in business coaching for small businesses and businesses of all sizes. If you need to clarify your business and if you need to have some accountability in your business, contact Jim Barger at ActionCoachOmaha.com. Hi, I'm so excited about today's show because we have Tony Veland and Mike Ziegel from the AIM Institute. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Mike, Tony, good to see you. Thanks for coming down today.
No problem.
The AIM Institute, huh?
Yes.
Well, we all know what that is, but we're going to learn a lot more about it today. Hey, I'm going to jump right in. Tell us, Tony, what business is the AIM Institute in?
So the AIM Institute is an innovative not-for-profit that grows, connects, and inspires the tech talent community through career development and educational platforms.
Wow, that's good. Yeah. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
But it does set the bigger vision. Mike, unpack that a little with us. Tell us what that all means, I guess.
Sure. Basically, we make a difference, an impact, and change lives through these programs that Tony just mentioned.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Brain Exchange, which is the building right next to us,
okay,
where we teach youth from 7 to 17 how to program, how to build computers, really expose them to the technology of the future. Our goal there is, of course, to make sure we leave no kid behind, as we need every individual possible in Omaha to be the best that they can be.
Well,
that's our goal.
A lot of technical training, which is so popular. Tony, what other programs besides the Brain Exchange go on down there?
Well, we also have something that's called the Interface Web School, which is a way for us to allow people to change careers and actually go into tech. It may not be widespread news, but basically we were brought about because there was been such a shortage of tech, in this city and in this area, pretty much since the early 90s. And so if you're paying attention to technology at all, technology is touching everything. So that shortage is not going to get any smaller unless we're taking drastic initiatives and actions to make sure that we're getting people into that tech pipeline. This is a way for us that allows us to be able to do that. So we can have someone who, maybe in, some complete different career, and they can take one of our accelerated platforms, one of our accelerated programs, the last 10 to 14 weeks, depending on the particular program that you take. And after that, you're actually job ready. You have the skills to be able to be connected with one of our partners. And we have over, I don't know how many connections that we have through partners, about 3,100 different connections through CareerLink. Oh. We utilize those relationships to be able to place those individuals with some of our members.
Sure. How old is the Web Interface School? How long has it been around?
The web school has been around for 5 years.
5 years? Okay.
Yes, it was started by a young lady by the name of Shauna Dorsey, who was on with us for a while. We bought it from her 2 years ago.
And Shauna has been on the show. She was talking about that transition.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's a good guest. She's got her fingers in a lot. Hi, Shauna.
Yes, she does.
If I say hi to Shauna, then I'll be blessed, right?
Absolutely.
I hope so. She was in transition between kind of position A and position B right about the time she was on the show, and so she couldn't talk about position B yet, and position A was kind of fading out, so it was a little bit weird, about a little bit of a juggle for her, but of course, knowing Shauna, she carried it off with poise.
Well, I'll tell you what, we are very happy to have the Interface Web School because it's been such a godsend for us, and it's going to be a huge platform for people who are trying to change careers and still be able to work during the day, take their classes at night, but know that they don't have to necessarily go to school for 4 years to be ready to have those skill set that some of our members are going to appreciate.
Do you tell how many students you've had in and out of there or anything like that? Or
I don't know the
is there
specifics,
a number on
to be completely honest with you on that, but I'll tell you there are a number of members who really appreciate the skill sets that they're actually getting.
Oh yeah, there's some great stories. We'll probably get into that, I'm sure, as we go along here.
And we've also taken that interface too and actually gone out to businesses and actually done training for them that is specific for their needs. So there's flexibility there, and the one really overriding thing that we think of, and we always try to do at AIM, is to really see what we can do to make sure this is the best community we can possibly do. When we were founded, as you know, in 1992,
Right,
the talent was leaving Omaha,
Yeah.
like the bejeebers, and I look at it now, we are more relevant now in 2019 than we were in 1992.
Well, you're I'm forgetting the founder's name, but he had a great vision to
Robert, Dr. Sweeney.
Yes, Dr. Sweeney. Yes, good old Dr. Sweeney. He had great vision, and to know that we have to do something. Someone has to do something to bring the undergirth of technology, the foundation of technology, and keep it relevant in Omaha, because companies rely on that so much now.
And we've even introduced now GigLink, which is a new product that we have, and that is really to connect.
What's it called?
GigLink.
Okay. GateLink.
GigLink.
GigLink. Gotcha. Okay.
Just sort like the gig.
Okay. Yeah. No, I
community.
get it. I just hadn't heard of it.
And it is something that's brand new. We basically took the launch out again at Infotech recently.
Okay.
What this is a platform that's going to connect businesses to the local tech talent sitting right here. That small one-woman, one-man shop, two-man, two-woman shop, the entrepreneurial, the individual that's capable of doing this work, but nobody knows who they are and where they are. So what we're doing is we're connecting the community to the individuals that are looking to grow it. So when we talk about really growing the tech talent community, we are doing what we can to make sure that we are not only doing that, quote unquote, via CareerLink, some other platforms along that line, but we're really connecting the companies to the people that are starting these businesses.
Building that network. That's right up my alley as far as who I talk to on the show, and there are. I mean, I was thinking about it the other day where I could do the show for 100 years because of all the small onesie, twosie companies out there, the mom and pops, or just the moms, or just the pops, and how many solopreneurs are. And it sounds like GigLink is going right down that alley. I mean, what will they have events, or what's the plan with GigLink, Tony?
Well, it's not really for
Was it up your
events.
alley instead?
It is more up his alley because he's kind of managing that.
I didn't want you to fall asleep over there.
No, but it's fine, because in essence, what it's really about is it's about connecting the tech community. Because unfortunately, if you're not in the community and you're not paying attention to what's going on social media or on the news, you have no idea what resources are out there.
Well, I'll give you an example, and I don't know his name right now, but I met a guy actually at a 1 Million Cups event, and he was interested in doing more networking and such, and he locally, because he had his own little niche. He was inside the credit card payment processing, and he traveled all the time to big clients, big banks and big name companies, and he knew nobody in Omaha. Right. And he said, I got to fix that. I got to network here. I don't know a soul. He was well known in his industry as a superhero, but nobody here knew him, and so he needed something like that to just to feel more grounded here. And so I think that's great that you're putting something like that together.
Yeah, and it's sort of like if you needed your transmission fixed in your car. You're going to go to friends, you're going to go to connections. What happens if you don't have anybody?
Yeah.
If there's not somebody there available to give you that recommendation. So what we've done is take that and put it into a platform. It's a project management, vendor management tool. Perfect. Is really what it is.
That's great.
But it's a nice way for people to then say, I don't know anybody that could make my website web-enabled. I'll go to my GigLink platform, put it out, and go to a vetted individual. And it's, to me, I like it because it is pushing local entrepreneurial businesses first.
Sure, no, that seems like
and there's no other way we're going to grow this area unless we do that investment.
Well, and rising tide lifts all boats, as they say, something like that. Well, Tony mentioned CareerLink, and I do want to hear more about GigLink. That's really interesting. Tell us about the arm of AIM that's CareerLink, Mike.
Sure.
Before you do, I sat on the phone and sold CareerLink, and they had me selling it in Kansas City, which was the home of Career Builder. And I had my work cut out for me. Like, who? What? Where?
Absolutely.
So anyway, how big is CareerLink nationally versus Are you focused locally? And first of all, tell what CareerLink is, in case somebody just
Just
woke
in
up
case
from a
we-
20-year coma.
And that's all right. CareerLink is our job talent acquisition platform.
Okay.
It's so much more than just a quote-unquote job board.
Yeah.
We do quite a bit on the back end, the front end, to really make a difference, add a little bit of an extra personal touch to it. So it is technology with a human side.
Okay.
I've been with AIM since 2009.
Okay.
Always been in sales.
Okay.
Always AIM sales. CareerLink was the #1 platform for me, sales-wise.
Yeah.
As of January, I became the director of sales
Okay.
in CareerLink operations, so I have a little bit of a different title.
And give an example of the breadth of CareerLink. How many, not how many, but the size of the marketplace. I mean, do you think you have 50% of the companies in Omaha post their jobs there, and what else do they do there? Or that's just a
We run
question.
about 62 to 67% of the companies here
Wow.
have used or are using
Wow.
CareerLink.
Wow.
Definitely would like to have it higher.
No.
You know what? Everybody's got their own preferences,
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
and that's all right. I'm okay with that.
Well, and
we're not for everybody.
And you post the jobs, and what else do you do to help make it a little bit more unique than all these other blasting boards out there?
Absolutely. We have a wonderful little back-end assistant. All the people throughout the world call it an applicant tracking system.
Yeah.
I call it an assistant.
I've known of that. I've seen that, and that's a nice tool to have. Because I've been in the recruiting and human resources for 25, 30 years, and those commercials I talk about, you know, getting thousands of resumes, and you know, just the processing on the back end, it's the biggest, hardest part to do. And nice to have an assistant.
And that's basically what it is. It's an
behind you.
assistant. You don't have to pay.
Yeah.
You don't have to get coffee. You
Yeah.
can call in sick and complain. I mean, it's everybody's perfect kind of a setup. But I
Sure.
mean, that's always been.
Sure.
The difference is it's that human touch.
Gotcha.
It's making the difference. As you know, with the businesses that you deal with, every business is unique, different, and special. Even if they're doing the same thing, even if you have 2 gas stations,
Yeah.
each one of those is totally different, and that's the best part of this job.
Well, I wish I had thought of this myself, but I can't remember who said it on a podcast. But they said, you know, unless if you're doing something and you think someone else has done it already, it's not right, not true, because if you're doing it, it's unique to you.
Huh,
You know,
okay.
and it's really,
Yeah.
they had it a little more succinct than that, but
Right.
you know, the bottom line is, if it's you, if it's CareerLink doing it, it's different than some of the other ones.
Right.
And so that's just, everything has its flavor. When I worked there, it was everything. We owned the world in this market.
And I'll add something else to that. You know, CareerLink has been, you know, really our flagship product for probably more than 20 plus years, probably 26 years, whatever the case may be. But I think one thing that really kind of sets us apart is that when you're working with us, it's not just the CareerLink thing that we really want to emphasize. CareerLink is a way for us to
Right.
connect people, the talent to the members, and that's awesome.
Right.
But we also have another side that educates people, that gives people a platform to change careers. We're talking about truly building the community, truly having a membership where all sides win. You know, and I say this a number of times. You know, in my opinion, I think we're the only place where, if you utilize our membership, you can take care of solutions for recruiting, advertising, networking, education, and philanthropy. You know, there's not that many companies that will allow you to be able to do all those types of
No,
things. And
that's
so it's a great thing that we're doing. We're taking care of business initiatives, but we're building a community at the same time.
Well, and that's obviously true. I mean, we've talked a little bit about CareerLink. We've talked a little bit about the Brain Exchange. Tell us, Tony, a little bit more about some of the grants and the things that AIM does for the community and the schools, and besides Brain Exchange.
Well, we have a couple different. We have obviously the Brain Exchange, where we kind of talked about there, but we also have TRIO programs, and those are really more of our college access programs. So
Okay.
again, when we talk about working from ages 7 through 17, it's really more. And I'm going to steal a statement that one of our cohorts uses. She says, "We serve from K to grade." You know, and so, you know, we're gonna focus on those kids who are younger, get them excited about technology, and hopefully push them into that tech space. You know, that's more with brain exchange. Once they get to the high school age, we have our TRIO programs, which are more college access. So that we're teaching them, you know, leadership skills. We're talking about FAFSA. We're talking about scholarships and trying to get them, you know, internships and things like that, those types of things. But we're also trying to make sure that they're going on to college, you know, to have the best opportunities of success. But then we're showing them the other programs that we have as well, because again, we're trying to push people into that pipeline that's going to make them successful. Whether they stay in tech, we want them to stay in tech, obviously, but if they don't, we still want to give them the tools to be able to be successful regardless of what they do.
Well, it's such a fantastic program because, I mean, I was exposed to a gentleman a young man who, his parent, well, he had kind of a rocky upbringing and really bounced around some different homes and situations, and he didn't have parents to look at who had been to college. And you know, I said the word FAFSA to him, you know, the financial aid package, and he didn't know what that meant. And so, you know, to have a program that comes in there and piggybacks maybe on the brain exchange, where they already are learning about these kind of technical things, and just have people around you who are, you know, have been to college and say, you know, because otherwise they won't have the exposure. Yeah, there's all sorts of stories.
And this is what motivates me. This is what has kept me at AIM for 10 years plus, is the fact that we actually do make a difference, an impact, and change lives. It's not charity, okay? This is a helping hand, and we level the playing field. There's nobody in this world that hasn't needed a helping hand, someone to be a mentor, to lean on. And that's what we do, and to see the difference we make, to see what these kids are doing and the lives we're changing, to me, it's worth it.
Sure. Tony, speaking of that, are there some stories that come out of a web interface school or anything else that, success stories?
Actually there are. We had a young lady by the name of Danielle Wegman worked for us last year. She came in as a receptionist. We brought her in, I want to say it was around May. Now, at the beginning of the year, she had been a stay-at-home mom. She was actually teaching yoga. So she came in and she was a receptionist. She saw the classes that we offered and she had a little bit of interest. And so she went ahead and took one of our classes, and if I'm not mistaken, this was sometime around June, July time zone. And then she was done, I want to say October-ish.
So 4 months or so?
Yeah. Okay. 4 months.
Took one class?
Took one class. Okay. One class. 4 months later, we were able to actually place her with one of our members, and so she was actually able to.
As a developer.
As a developer and a programmer. So
now, obviously entry level in there.
Well, yeah, it's entry level, but the thing is, when you're talking about tech, entry level pays so much more than any other industry out there.
You know, so we double their wages.
Yeah, and we've kind of talked about this, you know, in the past. You know, if you go into the tech profession, entry level can really be about $1 million decision that you're making, because you can make about $20,000 to $30,000 more starting out. Yeah. You know, so you take that over 30 years. I mean, that's, you know, 20, 30 years, that's real money. You know? But in essence, she was able to change careers and get into a career that has, you know, such a bright future. You know, and so she's very happy, and now she's going to be that talent that a lot of these members out here want.
Stay-at-home mom, yoga hobby, 4-month class. Now she's in a cubicle working on in a new career that'll probably make a difference of $1 million over the course of a career. Correct. That's pretty. What classes specifically, languages are taught at web interface school?
Oh my gosh.
You know?
Foundations, Foundations, COBOL, Java, .NET, WordPress, and I think there's one other one I can't remember.
All the trendy stuff that the employers want.
Yeah.
And something that's current right now. Yeah. That there's value in what the demand is, and that's probably the biggest thing. With the connections that we have through the CareerLink platform, we can get a general idea of, okay, what are you looking for, what do you need, then draw that back, then we can say, okay, here's the classes that we're going to need to fulfill those positions.
Right. No, and
so it works out well.
And yeah, I mean, I probably would never be a programmer. I don't have the left brain for it. I'm a more creative type, right? But some people just need that bump and that place to start. The idea of getting a 4-year degree in information technology, you know, not going to work for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, it's not obviously not a bad thing, but sometimes that's not cost effective for people. They don't have the time to wait, you know, that long, and so you want to be able to meet them where they're at, so to say. And if, you know, finances are an issue, let's try to find a way to work around that. If time is an issue, let's try to find a way to work around that. And so that's what we're doing.
And it's small enough to do that, and,
exactly.
non-traditional. I mean, it's not like you have to be at the class and all that kind of thing. Great offering, great opportunity. Tony, Mike told us why he likes to be at AIM and what his connection with it is. Why you've only been there about a year, but why AIM for you? What's
it's honestly it's about the same story. I'm born and raised in Omaha. I grew up in the Benson area. My mother still lives in the same house that we grew up in. But when I look around the neighborhood, to me the neighborhood looks the same. It doesn't look like there has been a lot of growth. So I see these kids, and I remember being one of those kids that grew up in a situation where I didn't see a lot of success every day. And I can tell you that about the 50 kids that were in my neighborhood, I can only think of probably 3 that are still doing positive things right now. And that affects me. I have sports in my background, and I did some. I was on some really good teams. But the thing that I really loved about sports was that it gave me a platform. And so I try to use that platform to be able to provide opportunities for kids now. And the Brain Exchange right now, we work with 2 of the lowest income schools in the city. Well, we want to be able to, expand that north. We want to be able to expand that south, where other kids can have the opportunity to get into tech and to learn about it, but get them in something that could possibly change the trajectory of their lives. So that's why I made the move.
Well, I really like what you say about you have a unique platform that can get the attention of some of these kids, and not everybody's going to be a high-level athlete by any means. But you are giving them, you're pointing them with the help of AIM toward a lot of other successes that they can have. And you've walked the walk, lived the talk, and all that. So tell us about your background a little bit more before AIM.
So I did financial advising for about 15 years.
Wow.
I played football professionally for 3 years, 2 years for the Broncos, 1 year for the Carolina Panthers. Once that was done.
Wait, got to interrupt you. What did the Broncos do that year you played for them? One of those years?
They might have won one of those big gaudy rings, got a lot of diamonds.
Nothing on here. That didn't
I don't have it today, unfortunately. But yeah, I was very fortunate in the football, playing for Nebraska, won 2 championships, and then playing for Denver, won a Super Bowl championship there. So it was a great time. I was lucky to get there. I worked my butt off, but I was kind of lucky to get there. Yeah. But it created a platform.
Yeah.
And I was able to use that platform. But at that particular time, I've always been about helping people. And at that time, I noticed that there was a sincere lack of financial education for people.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to be able to, help people be better stewards of their funds.
Sure.
And so I ended up getting into the business, and I did that for 15 years, and it was, it was a really good business.
How'd you connect up with AIM? How'd that happen?
You know what? One of the people that sits on their board, his partner actually gave me my first job out of college.
Oh, okay.
And so he kind of let me know that there was an opportunity at AIM to do, some type of sales development, sales management. And management has been something that I thought about in the past, but I figured out, I wasn't really looking for something different, but I listened to them.
Yeah.
But then when I heard the story, about kind of what they're doing in the community, I'm like, let me jump in.
Perfect fit for your mission.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect fit. I think that's awesome. AIM's lucky to have you, and I think that's just great. So, what did you do before AIM?
Most of my background is insurance. Okay. Insurance related, claims adjuster. Chase Storms.
Yeah.
Was part of an independent adjusting firm for umpteen years.
Sure. And how did you connect up with AIM?
It was one of those weird things. I was looking for a change due to a push, and we'll leave it at that.
Push.
And
people have told me maybe it's a good idea for you to seek opportunities.
The better way to put
success elsewhere.
The better way to put it is, Mike, we're going a different direction, and you're going that way, and we're going this way,
and here's the door.
Yes, and so I got introduced to CareerLink at that time.
Yeah.
And actually met some of the people, and it was not my first choice.
Yeah.
The reason I did go is because of the individual that I interviewed with.
Sure.
And he has since passed away.
Oh my. Okay.
But you know what? It's always been the people. I work a little bit harder because of what we do. Sure. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Well, because I have been here in this state since 2005. I don't foresee going anywhere. So it's in my interest to make sure that this is the best community we can. Yep. And
I get that real clear from both of you, and I worked there too, and that's the mission I sensed even back then in the 2005 or something like that. it's an outstanding organization, and in fact, I'm thrilled to be able to partner with AIM on an upcoming event. It's called Laid Off and Launching It. What better way to I mean, if you're laid off, to launch a new career via perhaps the Interface Web School. Ellen's going to be there and talk to.
Yeah, Ellen Meyer, who actually is the director of our interface programs, will be there just kind of talking about the different options that are available. Again, we've talked about it, throughout this whole program. It's about providing opportunities.
Right.
And unfortunately, sometimes people, they're at a certain place and they end up parting ways. Well, when they part ways, somebody needs to be able to step in and provide those opportunities.
Change is the word in business today.
Right, exactly.
Change.
Exactly.
And so this event is aimed at accommodating people who are in that change. Maybe you are a person who's worked in the workforce for 20 to 30 years. Maybe you decided to go that direction, other direction. Maybe they decided you should, no matter what the deal. Maybe you retired early. We see people with some major companies in town who are going through this. I see that in my class at Metro when I teach there. Right. And this event will just address not only Web Interface School, and not all of our listeners are going to be programmers, but we're going to have Blake Martin there, who's been on the show, and he'll talk about the idea of buying a new business or franchising and how to look for a franchise, and he's an expert at that, just an expert. He's been on the program, he's a good guy. Also there will be Elizabeth Yearwood from the Small Business Administration, and she's outstanding. Containing her is always the challenge. The Small Business Administration has so many free opportunities for entrepreneurs. You talk about launching it. Well, maybe they want to launch their own programming business as a contractor. Who knows? The mix that we have on that panel, and Tony's going to be there too, of course, is outstanding, and I just can't wait. It'll be May 1st, and it'll be downtown. What building, what floor, and all that?
The AIM Exchange Building, 1905 Harney Street, on the 7th floor, which is our trading floor.
Be May 1, which is a Wednesday, I believe, from noon to 1:30. Yep. And registration information will be out there soon in the social world, and that's coming right up. And so you'll be hearing more about that. We hope that it's open to anybody. You can be young, old, working, non-working, whatever. Come for part of the event, leave. Come for the whole thing, come stay, enroll in Interface Web School, whatever you want to do.
Correct.
But it's all out there. And
connect and get yourself inspired.
Right.
Any last words about AIM and all that as we wrap up?
I'm going to leave it to my guy here. He's the mouth of the South here.
Mouth of the South.
You know what? Over the years, we've always just tried to make that difference, that impact, and change lives. We're always looking for individuals that can help us make a bigger impact, a greater difference, and positively affect more people. The more people we can give that helping hand to, the better off everybody is throughout this area. And that's really what, at the heart of everything, makes us AIM people do what we do on a continuous basis, is that individual we've been able to help, maybe redirect, or, you know what, maybe just connect with somebody different.
Well, that's, yep.
You know, and that's the whole thing. It's connecting people with the right opportunity for them.
Well, and in a nutshell, it really says it all. Tony, thanks for coming.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you
for the
Mike,
time.
thanks for being on the program.
Pleasure. Right.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Grow Your Biz Show. And be sure to visit my website, growmedia.com, if you'd like. And until then, next week's show, go out there and grow something. Hi, I'm Paul Madsen of growmedia.com, and I'm here today with Tony Veland and Mike Zegel of the AIM Institute. Let's get to know them better. Tony, welcome.
How you doing? Thank you.
Mike, welcome.
Thank you.
Hey guys, tell me, what business is the AIM Institute in?
So the AIM Institute is an innovative not-for-profit that grows, connects, and inspires the tech talent community through career development and educational platforms. Now, I know that's kind of a mouthful, but in essence, what we're doing is we're getting people involved in technology.
Yeah, and people of all ages, aren't they, Mike?
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
From 7 to whenever.
I can go.
We can assist, direct, educate, connect to the necessary resources to make the people's lives better. At the end of the day, we really do that. We make a difference, an impact, and change lives.
Fantastic, fantastic. Tony, you have about 3 or 4 main legs of the organization that do that. What are they?
We do. We have CareerLink, which has probably been our #1 product for about the last 26 years. We have Interface Web School, which has been around for the last 2 years with AIM. Has been a godsend, allows people to be able to change careers, going from any career into the world of programming and developing. We have our brain exchange and our fundraising side, which allows us to be able to get individuals who are younger, from 7 to 17, interested into the tech pipeline.
Wow.
Because that is a really huge thing, because if you pay attention to any companies out there, the one big area that they're having problems finding work in is technology. Well, you got to be able to do things to get people excited about tech,
right,
to fill that pipeline. So we use that for that. And then we also have our events, which allows us to be able to connect people to the tech community. So
right,
if you, I don't know if you were there, but we had Infotech here recently, where we had roughly about 100+ businesses
wow,
represented there. We had about 700 individuals there. So in essence, when we're talking about connecting to tech, you know, we put our money where our mouth is.
That's terrific. And Mike, you actually bring the kids from their schools, elementary schools, down to your facility and help
Absolutely.
expose them to
we
talent.
we started with Liberty Elementary, which is really right down the street from us there.
How long do they spend at the Institute?
They are a day class.
A whole day?
Not a whole day,
Okay.
part of a day.
Gotcha.
It's their technology aspect where they built computers.
Right.
When we launched and had the grand opening for the Brain Exchange, those elementary school kids made an app.
Really?
And it was
pretty cool.
fascinating.
That's pretty cool.
So it's great.
Tony, 10 seconds on Web Interface School.
Again, it's a great way for people to be able to change platforms and go into another career. Accelerator programs last 10 to 14 weeks. If you are looking to change careers and you want to be able to do that and be skill ready within about 4 to 5 months, it's the way to go.
And this is with Java and .NET and all the
Java,
top of trendy programming
WordPress,
languages.
yeah, everything
Awesome.
that's out there.
Awesome. Well, there you have it. Everything about, or a little bit about AIM Institute. Check out aiminstitute.org, is that right? And you'll learn more about how they really do change lives and by enabling technology. Thanks for joining us.